Hello, in this video I'll be talking about the intro to propositional logic, specifically negation, conjunction, and disjunction. So starting off, what we have to know about propositional logic is what is a proposition. So a proposition is a statement that can be true or false. So something like the grass is green or the sky is blue, those can be true or false, but something like a question, where did you go, or what time is it, can't be a proposition, or something that is a command can't be a proposition, like go to the store. That can't be a proposition because it can't be proven true or false. So kind of looking at negation here, for negation it is represented by either a tilde or the symbol for negation, just this little sideways L. So when we do a negation, we're basically saying if P is a proposition, negation the proposition would be not saying not P, or it is not the case that. So basically we're just saying whatever the proposition is the opposite of that. So looking at a truth table here, if we have proposition P and we have negation of the proposition P, if our proposition is true, our negation is just going to be false. If it's false, our negation will be true. So pretty straightforward that it's just the opposite of what we're looking at. So looking at a proposition here, if we do have the grass is green, our negation proposition is going to be the grass is not green. So pretty straightforward. We kind of just take whatever our proposition is and then just whatever the opposite is, as long as it is a proposition. So in math, that would be something like if P is equal to x equals 5, then our negation P will be x is not equal to 5. And same thing for if we're looking at inequalities. If P is equal to x is less than 3, then our negation P is going to be equal to x is less than and equal to 3. We have to make sure that we include this equal to as well. So moving on for conjunction. So conjunction is represented by kind of this upside down, or this arrow pointed up. And it's basically just saying if you have P conjunction Q, for example, it's saying P and Q. So in this case, our statement is only true when both P and Q are both true. So because it's a conjunction, we have to have both of them true. P and Q are true. So looking at a truth table here, if we have P, Q, P conjunction Q, and we'll put these in here. So for the first one here, we have P is true and Q is true, so that means our conjunction is going to be true. For the second one, we have P is true and Q is false. So because they're both not true, our conjunction will be false. Same thing with this one, our P is false, but our Q is true. Either way, our conjunction is still going to be false. And then for this last one, they're both false, so it's going to be false. So we just have to remember that this one is a little more exclusive, where you have to have both P and Q true in order to make our conjunctive statement true. So looking at our proposition here, if we have P is equal to the grass is green and Q is equal to the sky is blue, our P and Q P conjunction Q is going to be the grass is green and the sky is blue. So we'll have and in there. And since both of these are true, our conjunction is also going to be true. So there's that. And then for mathematically speaking, if we had P is equal to X is greater than 3 and Q is equal to X is less than 6, our P conjunction Q is going to equal 3 less than. So kind of a famous conjunction in math is our inequalities here. And finally, looking at disjunction, our disjunction is going to be represented by this arrow pointing down, and it's going to be P or Q. So for this one, our disjunction is only false when P and Q are false. So if P or Q is true, then our statement is true. So kind of looking at our truth tables here, again, we'll set it up true, true, false, false, and true, false, true, false. So for this one, our P is true, our Q is true, our disjunction is going to be true. For our P equal true and our Q equals false, well, since it's P or Q has to be true to make the statement true, so we know that P is true, our statement will be true. And here we have our P is false, but our Q is true, and since one of them is true, our disjunction will be true. And then, obviously for this last one, they're both false, our disjunction will be false. So again, if we have the same statement, the grass is green and the sky is blue, our disjunction statement will be the grass is green or the sky is blue. And again, the grass is green, the sky is blue is going to equal true. And then for mathematically speaking, you'd probably see something like P would be 4 is even, and our Q proposition is 6 is prime. 4 is an even number, so that would be true. 6 is not a prime number, so that would be false. Our disjunction is going to be P disjunction Q is equal to 4 is even, or 6 is prime. And since our first one is true, our proposition is going to be true. So please watch my next video for some more examples and as we dive deeper into this subject. Thank you.